Actually, I'm be very happy to answer this question because, of course, it's something on everyone's minds at the moment. The newspapers, both in Hong Kong and in the UK, are reporting heavily on this new BNO scheme due to start next January. We ourselves, Locations Real Estate, has partnered with a top immigration solicitor here in the UK to offer initially free consultation and then advice on the quickest path to take advantage of that. But I would say that the simplest way to describe what the impact of that will be, as far as I see it, is that having spoken to a number of my clients, and especially some of the more conservative ones, because of course this is a political hot topic. I think the international political wrangling of this, we don't have, I wish I had one, but I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see in the future as to what, what different, international superpowers will do. But assuming that the BNO visa program is able to go ahead, I would say that even on a conservative basis, my clients anticipate in the region of 100,000 Hong Kong Chinese families who would likely take advantage of this and as a result relocate to the UK. Now, if you figure that the average Hong Kong Chinese buyer, from, I can say anecdotally from my experience, but many of my colleagues and I have always compared notes on this. Generally speaking, a Hong Kong Chinese buyer goes in for about £750,000 up to around 1.2 million if they're buying a buy-to-let investment in London. Now, if you times, even the midpoint of those numbers by 100,000, it starts to become quite a dramatic number. And that's the amount of money that is potentially going to be coming into the UK market. And Hong Kong people, I'm guilty of this myself, having been born and bred Hong Kong, and my family was there for 3 generations. We are used to a city where we have very close public transport, where everything's easy to get to, and I would say that we expect that anywhere we'd really want to go, we should be able to get there in about 15 minutes. London, of course, is very massive geographically, so it's quite different. As such, I think the biggest impact is going to be that prime areas, very convenient locations, areas which are desirable, are probably going to be targeted quite heavily by these incoming buyers. Now, that said, Hong Kong buyers, in my experience, are extremely savvy and are they're very good at sniffing out a good deal. And I would say that, I mentioned that I thought that super prime in some cases was overrated, and I stand by that. But I would say that, on the other hand, being clever and navigating the market such that, if you know that a road over here will be, £3,000 a square foot, but just a 7-minute walk over this way, it might be, 1,500 or 2,000 or what have you. You can actually buy tactically and end up living in some of London's very, very good postcodes without having to pay that top dollar for it. And I would say that in some respect, what we at Locations have been doing is creating that link between London and Hong Kong, such that even for buyers who are less familiar with it, we can explain what London is like in terms of Hong Kong. And I think that having that, that local market knowledge on both sides is incredibly important.